Hey, good morning, traders. Just want to make a video for setup 1. Now, I see it developing on NQ. Now, is this an ideal asset that we want to short? You know, after Nvidia earnings, what was it, up 18% or something crazy? Probably not. So let's double check on the swing structure, but all the rules for setup 1 have been fulfilled. Okay, we've taken a London high, London swing high. We've contacted previous day's value area high. Now, I noticed we had this drop base drop supply and demand zone that could be used for a trap. Now, I think in my mind this looks like a kind of retail trap sell. But we'll see how it develops. Now, what's happening on ES? We just clipped both the unfinished auctions from Friday and the all-time high. We noticed a sell scalp this morning that some people took. I only got partials from it, and then it came back to my break-even point. Okay, that was super risky given the unfinished auctions on both all-time high and unfinished high, but it looks like we might be leaving a poor high on ES. So on the balance of things, if we get good confirmation on NQ, we could potentially look for a sell. Now let's just double check on swing structure and all time frames. This is my favorite one. Swing highs and lows by Satoshi. Okay, what's happening? 4 hour. We have now made a downswing, lower high, lower low in progress. Now, if this is a swing low in creation, maybe not the best idea to sell. But we are in an H4 downtrend just about. I noticed also we just filled this gap, and on H4 it's looking very bullish. H1, what's the picture? We are in a downswing. We are filling this gap on the hourly. So, interesting. I didn't actually notice that before I started the recording. This disconnection between candle bodies could help us with an intraday sell if everything links up. Now let's double check on NQ, see where we're at. Okay, I mean, we've made what looks like a sweep. Let's see on the footprint. Now, if I do take this trade, it'll be demo. I don't live trade during recordings. I'll live trade on calls with people, but not while I'm talking. I'll always take my headset off. So let's have a look at the footprint and see where we're at. Sorry for the delay. Alright, what's going on? Now, I'm going to do this without bookmap because I traded for over a year without using it, just using footprint, and I was fine. Now, I notice we're coming up to test a high volume node at 17917. What's the delta? It's not negative yet. Where did we reject? Kind of around this imbalance on M3. Now, given we did break this, that is the first sign of weakness, but we don't have negative delta yet on this node. We did have what looks like absorption on this candle. Just a reminder, setup 1 rules has to be in line with a bias and a good context, a good narrative. The second conditions are that you break one of the key levels, which we've done, and contact a trading level. Now, I am skeptical about this level. Now, it is a hidden gap on the 4 hour, but I don't like trading off supply and demand zones, especially if we're in strong momentum. So conditions are not ideal, and if we don't get a trade out of this, then I'll share the video anyway, but at the moment we've not had full confirmation on footprint. So this is why we use volume and order flow, is to be very precise about where we're trading. So let's keep an eye. Yeah, we did get rejection there. Let's check on M1. Okay, good strong rejection from that point of control from the candle. So if we retest this level on a negative delta, I will consider a sell. Obviously, I'm going to do this in demo because it's a recording. No negative delta yet. Struggling. The bullish volume was what? Got to the 300s, 800s, 300s, 500s, 600s. So, pullback, that was in the 100s. So that does give you some information that this pullback was somewhat weak. I'm not going to rush into a trade until I see all of my conditions met. See, it broke up there. This is why we wait for confirmations. No rushing in. Now it could retest the high, or we could get a strong rejection from this mini point of control. Okay, that's absorption. I can see some limits. Sellers were filled, so I'm going to go for it.
Order filled. Order filled.
Should have had my stop loss and take profit plotted before. That's my bad.
Order placed.
Now we're looking for aggressive buyers aggressive sellers to enter the market. And I'm going to place my stop
Order cancelled.
above the high.
Order cancelled. Order cancelled.
Let's take a look at the price action. You see buyers are trying to defend this hidden gap. Now, if we can overcome this hidden gap, we can think about targets. Now, the weekly TPO POC seems like a good one. This kind of general imbalance area. Now, let's check the market profile just to see if there's any single prints to fill. I notice on ES, for example, there's a bunch of single prints in this area. Apologies for all the lines. It's getting towards midweek, end of week, and I've still to do a cleanup. So targets, we have this London swing low that I'd like to target, and a stretch target would be this weekly TPO POC. These were limit sellers, so let's see if this area is defended. Now, is this strong positive delta something to worry about? Potentially. We'll see. A second rejection of this level with a negative delta would encourage me to add.
Order filled.
You see sellers are trying quite hard. Now this candle is very interesting. You see on the wick, this is indicative of limit sellers getting filled. This is without bookmap. What do we see on volume profile? Market profile, apologies. Okay, single print at 1789750. Okay, so we have a target 17. That's very close. Second single print is down at 17844. You can see that level was defended. Negative delta in this candle was the one that encouraged me to sell more. Now this level is still being rejected. Let's see the PA, how that looks. Basically, you had a high volume node here. Pin bar, that's a good sign. I mean, everything looks okay. I mean, we're at the bottom of the H4 swing, which worries me a bit. But for an intraday trade, down to a single print, you know, you can use your discretion in these situations. I think at least, given that ES looks like it's making a poor high, we can at least get to this single print and we'll trim there. Beyond that, we've got this kind of ledge. Maybe the midpoint, the VA is a good point to take profits. 17882.
Order cancelled.
Yeah. Now, what would you want to see in an ideal situation? You'd want to see a strong displacement candle first, like here. Then you'd want to look at imbalances that are around, here, and then trade pullbacks into that. So this entry, it's not ideal. I'm using a lot of using a bit of discretion here. Negative delta on this candle. That's delta divergence. Now, very common reversal patterns are not double tops, but if let's say we make a high with an absorption, sometimes we can then make a second high with an even stronger absorption and then shoot down. I think in this case we're okay. This isn't the perfect example to show you, because what I'd prefer is an example that's more like this, more obvious. Here I'm just using my experience to tell me, okay, this rejection is probably a limit seller based on this HVN. So I'm going to add that.
Order filled.
Can see some selling aggression. I'm not even looking at bookmap right now. I'm trying to show you that it's not a necessary tool. A lot of people see bookmap on groups and things and say, how do I learn bookmap? As if it's a standalone strategy. I don't really think it is. I think it was Jim Dalton that said the holy trinity is time, price, and volume. Now, this is truly all you need. Price action alone is not going to make you a profitable trader. Volume, order flow trading alone, yes, I think you could do that and be profitable. If you combined the two disciplines, you're in a much better position. Now, if you combine auction market theory on top of that, then you just have to look at the group. We see massive trades every day. We're able to predict exactly where the market's going. And actually, if you plan very well, these entries are quite relaxed. You'll see I'm not stressing out about this move up. I can see that in this case, some strong limit sellers were interested. So we're keeping our intraday target quite modest. Now let's just remind ourselves where that single print is. 17897. So we'll need to watch this level very carefully and possibly take a couple of contracts off. Now, let's just note the other single prints just in case we get a strong selling kind of stop-induced price cascade, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to note the second single print, 1783.175. This lower single print is right on VWAP. So I'll potentially leave a runner down there. That is if we don't get a second blow off top, which I don't think we will. Now, just to reiterate, what was the important point here? Well, we did have this absorption, i.e. a lot of orders on the wick without even looking at bookmap. You can see that's an absorption. Quite a weak one. We didn't have a massive spike in volume and delta, but it was there. Just, you know, relative to previous candles. Then this candle was the most relevant because it created a high volume node that was defended. And now we're coming down. So I will take half off at the single print. You'll notice I'm not going crazy with the lot sizing.
Order placed. Order placed. Order placed.
So just while this does its thing, let's double check the price action. A reminder, we're looking for key levels. In this case, it was M15 swing high, London high, Trading level was a previous day's value area high. I've also got Friday's value area high. I did note that we're on a drop-based drop zone, so I'm not gonna go crazy with the targets. Even if I can just get a partial at the single print in this case, it'll be okay. ES, let's check what's going on there. Yeah, we are making kind of a poor high, so that's ideal. If you refer to the Discord notes, I said at the start of the week that we're going to see a sweep of Friday's low and Friday's high. What happened? Sweep of Friday's low, now sweep of Friday's high. That's all recorded in the group. The talking heads will talk about Nvidia earnings and all this stuff, but it's just the catalyst for the auction, which is kind of predetermined. NQ is starting to drop. You see buyers are really try to have a go. Interesting. Imbalance. Kind of a support level around here. You can see it's struggling to break through it. Probably this imbalance. And what time is it? Midday. That's not a good time to trade, to be honest. Yeah, it's just not, because it's kind of lunchtime for London. We get this sideways movement, and but you can see electronic hours traders are still quite active on NQ. Actually, the ETH on NQ is my favorite time to trade. London session, if you can catch, the buy moves, which we frequently do on the group. If you're early, usually it's around Asia close, like 6 a.m. UK time, that you get good moves. Other good times are 1 p.m. UK time. I'm also starting to really enjoy not just 3 p.m. half an hour after open, but also 6:30 to 7:30 UK time, which is after New York lunch. Also a really good time to trade. So I think I'll take half off at this thing. Well, yeah, I'll take half off.
Order placed.
Also, I'll move my stop to break even once this is tagged. Bit of a high volume node there. You see no stress. I'm not stressed out about this trade at all. I'm just following my edge. If you read trading in the zone, it's all about just executing your edge calmly. No stress whatsoever. If you're able to read footprint, especially, you're in a really good position. This candle was crucial. This level was crucial. This candle was crucial. Now we are so close to that single print. See, right where my buy limits are. Just about to tag my buy limit. You know, given the bull structure, we could even just take some profit now. I'm going to move my stop to break even.
Order cancelled.
I don't really like how price is holding this HVN. We're frustratingly close to the single print. We kind of just need about here. I see we're on Friday's RTH M15 swing high. It's very close to getting stopped out break even.
Order filled.
That's the first order tagged. Zero stress. I actually wear a heart rate monitor, and if my heart rate variation is getting out of control, then I know something's off. Trading should be very relaxed, so I wasn't freaking out here, Now, should we continue to hold and get to the ledge, or just take the low-hanging fruit? I think in this case, yeah, I'm going to just leave a runner and see what happens, okay?
Order filled.
This is just given the very much kind of bullish momentum that we're seeing. Short moves, they're going to get swept up quite quickly. So I'm going to trail my stop a little bit.
Order cancelled.
Sorry, it's just a waiting game. Let's go back to market profile. Tag the single print. Now, could we rally and make a new high here? Absolutely we could. We're kind of testing this distribution now. So, you know, in most circumstances, I would just take all profit. Given that it's London lunch and ES looks like it's just making a poor high, I'm just going to let it run, see what happens, see if we can get to the value area high from today. This single print might embolden buyers. So if we go back, what do we see? Absorption candle, weak kind of bearish displacement candle. We break an imbalance, which is our first sign of weakness that we need to see for setup 1. We run up, test that high volume node, negative delta, couldn't break it. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We could not break that level, and we wicked above. I added orders when I saw this. If you refer to my footprint confirmations, there's one that I just call a kind of lining up or a multiple rejection scenario where you see either an imbalance or a high volume node where we just tap it and we cannot break above it. As you know, M3 chart is my favorite for intraday. Yeah, so that was really my main sign that we weren't going to break and make a new all-time, sorry, not new all-time high, but new high today. So let's just let this run. We've already taken good profit. Yes, I know, it's a demo account. I'm recording a video, so let's just see. Did I even look at bookmap around here? No. I have no idea what bookmap is doing. On my second screen, I have OBS, which is for recording. On my third screen, I've got Bloomberg, talking heads, talking shit as usual.
Order cancelled.
Will it hit? You know, a bounce from the single print, like a strong bounce, that would be a sign just to close immediately. We've kind of accepted below it, and we're now in the upper distribution of today's market profile. Now, of course, traditionally in market profile reading, you don't use the current day's distribution. I disagree with that. I think you can under certain circumstances, like this one. As you can see, it's strong, strong selling. You know, gives me confidence we'll reach this level.
Order cancelled.
This shows that buyers are really trying to accept above this kind of single print area or accept above this distribution on the market profile. Accept is the wrong word, sorry, reject. Now, should we just TP? You know, intraday trade. You know, I think it's going okay. I'm just gonna let it go. We're trailing our stops, so I've already booked some good gains here. In total, this would be maybe 1,000 per account, you know, something like that, or maybe 800, something around that region.
Order cancelled.
What do we see here? A bit of a battle between buyers and sellers. Probably some limit buys getting filled here. Again, I'm not checking bookmap. I'm trying to show you in this video that it's not a necessary tool. It's helpful for sure, but you do not need it. And it looks like we're gonna hit. Let's trailer stop a bit more.
Order cancelled.
And there it is.
Order cancelled.
All done. And that just shows you how easy setup one is if you follow the order flow. Was I scared, nervous, frustrated, chasing any of that stuff? No, it was very relaxed. Even going counter trend. Okay, so I hope that helped. It's not the perfect example of setup one that you want to see, but all the rules were fulfilled. We got that liquidity grab move above London high, had this rejection from a high volume node, and sold off to target. Okay, so I'll leave it there, and I really hope that helped.